when a black man is treated in a way, whether the black man is wrong or right, nobody won't know. Hello, nobody wants to know. All they will say is now racism against black people, which is not always true. You know, because of one person, the castigator for what he do, they will say not be the person that they castigate, say now black race. This is not true all the time. In applicable or in application to which I want to talk about is when people treat church owners, better said, because church is attributed to God. So when people treat church owners in a way or say something about church owner that it is not at the favor of your favorite church owner, then what do? You say the person is trying to pull down the church of God. Is a big lie. The person that is talking about who is doing wrong is only trying to pull down the individual, the single person, and not God. Or you can pull down the people who wants to put God down, because God, they use man till they deal with man. If somebody is talking about Pastor Adeboye, don't say the person is Pastor Adeboye is not God. Pastor Adeboye is not a church. It's not the church, you know. So he's talking about person. You don't just weakly defend by saying the person is talking against God. So when people are talking, trying to correct, maybe through confession, from experience or from observation, let them talk about who they want to talk about. That is how we can get better.
What made you stop being a pastor, and what was your experience like being a pastor under one of the biggest pastors in the world today, Dr. Paul Enenche?
It's not about what I do, but why I do what I do.
Enenche took me to prison.
I can call outside my 5 fingers pastors that have left. I'm not alleging that he's the one, but pastors that have left, that have died. I remember Philip Abba, Patrick Ubeku. I remember Chris.
All these pastors have died. So many miracles, testimonies of these. The blind received his sight, the crippled walked. Tell us, these miracles, are they true? Have you witnessed any of them?
I will tell you, Captain, no. And it's with due respect to him and to Dunamis Church. I have nothing to lose or gain.
You're saying no, that the miracles are not real?
Are not real. They don't happen. Let me tell you, give you an instance.
If you watch this interview, we know that there are a lot of truth here. I said it is God. It is God that used human being to deal with human being. It is same God. Nicely, they use human being till they help human being. If you not believe, listen, naturally or chemically, I don't know if that word exists chemically, in chemistry or formula to make soup. If you want make soup, you need oil. Hello. Then when oil come match where you're not supposed match, you need soap to remove and there. That is how it goes. Yeah, now oil you use to make this soup. Hello. Oil that you use to make soup. I don't know. Maybe other soup not they involve oil, but where I come from, when they do local soup, when they need oil. Oil they join with it till they do soap. But you will come surprised at the time oil can't enter where it not supposed enter. What do you need to wash it off? Now soap. What do you need to wash oil off from your dirty plate? Now soap. What do you need to wash oil off from your clothes? Now soap. So now this same oil that they make the soap. So why you're surprised? Say after Abraham don't start with Enenche in the beginning, now it talk all these things about Enenche. About Enenche, I repeat, about Enenche, not against Enenche. Bringing people and communities together to do what? To share ideas, to share personal experiences, and to share general knowledge. That is time to talk. Everyone talks on time to talk. We invite people to our studio and videos from other media sources on time to talk.
So tell us, what made you stop being a pastor, and what was your experience like being a pastor under one of the biggest pastors in the world today, Dr. Paul Enenche, and some other things you may want to share with us.
Yeah, thank you so much. Like you just said, my name is Abraham Daniel, and I've worked with Dr. Paul for over 10 years, pastor, and outside him, Assemblies of God. I was a missionary in Assemblies of God.
You were? Oh.
Yeah, 1998, I was a missionary. I planted a church in Lantan North, Pilgani. 1998. We are running 2 services there.
Where is that?
Lantan North is in Plateau State.
Okay.
Plateau State. Yeah. When we got there, we were left with a mat and a room. And no church at all. You have to start from 001. It's not what we have here right now, church migration. As of 1998, just imagine how it was. No technology, so you can't call home. I've never been to that place. They don't really speak the literal English. They speak Hausa. They speak Tarok. Sonya, Kankan Sonya, those, so that is their dialect, and we are able to penetrate there within 6 months. We're able to, in Assemblies of God, when they are sending out missionary, it's 2 by 2, following the scripture. And when we got there, we were able to succeed. We within 6 months, we planted a church, running 2 services before we left. What they do, they send missionaries, they break the ground, they now bring in pastors. That is their style. So at least I've seen that in assemblies, and from there, Dunamis Church. One other church before Dunamis, but Dunamis seems to be the one I spend the longer time with, and it's so far so good. Now, I'm talking about how my exit point. You see, there are key things that started driving me at one point of my life, and I will read them out for you. I have to pen them down because of how I treasure them. Number 1 is my greatest asset of value is humanity. Everybody got their value. Everybody got what they treasure the most. But for me, Abraham is humanity. Number 2, my process must be consistent with my destination. Before we came on air, we were talking about destination and process, getting the joy. And I like whatever process I am going through must be consistent with my destination. That is humanity. So this thing drives me. Number 3, I have no right to criticize what I have no replacement for. So anytime you see me criticizing a team, I have a better replacement. Because when you criticize a team and you have no replacement for that, you bring the people to a point of frustration. You are taking them out of a team and you are bringing them to a place where, like, what next?
You're creating a vacuum.
So before,
and nature abhors vacuum.
Abhors vacuum. So before I left, I defined that. And another number 4 is my motive or conscience is more important than my actions. So whatever I do is not all about what I do, but why I do what I do. So whatever I am doing now, I'm coming here, I have to search my motive. Why am I coming here?
But being a Christian or being a pastor, did it stop you from becoming or being any of these things you just mentioned?
Absolutely. The church cycle or the Christian cycle do not allow you to think out of the box. I wouldn't have been able to explore my passion for humanity if I were to be a pastor. As a pastor, you first, if you are under a general overseer like someone like Dr. Paul Enenche, there's a ministry template that you must follow.
Was that the sole reason why you left, or there was, other things? There were other things that...
Yeah, you see, when I joined Dunamis, I came in 2008. I had to go through their Bible school. And I'm good in ICT. Someone that knew me before now in Benue. In those days, in 2004, I used to repair telephones. I used to mount masts, or these local masts, not the MTN kind of masts, base to base. Because then there was GSM were just coming, or was just coming. So we interior villages, all these big men. I've worked for Abamuru, Fabagada. So interior villages, they want to talk with their parents and all of that. So we help in connecting that. So someone knew me then. In Benue, Otukbo, I was using, coincidentally, his father's house, Chief D.E. Enenche, without knowing Dr. Paul Enenche.
Oh.
Yeah, I never met him. I never knew him then. So someone recommended that this guy is very good. He recommended me to handle his production. Because then his production was zero. There was no bookshop. They were using umbrella, and the young men there, they were stealing the whole thing. They would just sell, pocket the money. So they were not accounting for them. So when I came, I stepped in there, and from there I proceeded. I was so good that I changed everything there because we are live. So I'm saying this, they can subject me and they can criticize me. So I was so good that I had to shift the production. I transformed the production before I left there. We built, of course, it's not just about me. I raised other staff that were able to stand by me, and we put up what Dunamis have now as a standard production. At one point, it cost me his pharmacist because there was no topic that I won't have it here. Sometimes it calls me 1 a.m., 2 a.m. You can call me, Abraham. Where are you? I'll say, sir. Because we have this slogan: ministry is military. So if your senior pastor calls you, where are you? The answer is, where do you want me to be?
Interesting.
So you want me to be. So you're like, I want you to be here. You are there.
To share personal experiences and to share general knowledge. That is Time to Talk. Everyone talks on Time to Talk. We invite people to our studio and videos from other media sources on Time to Talk.
So were you just in charge of the ICT department, or you were also a full-time pastor?
I was a full-time pastor. As I was good at
you were ordained.
Yes, ordained by Enenche, and the ordination was so rigorous. At that point, they have to take you through as a pastor. They'll do the ordination. You go. I think we had 3 days dry. 3 days dry. If you see people who go like a skeleton, dry. Some people no water, and at the 3rd day he comes for impartation. So, and even at that, you find it very difficult to even, his platform to stand to take opening prayer. There are pastors that have gone through Dunamis Church or have stayed in Dunamis Church for 10, 15, 20 years, have not climbed that platform to take opening prayer. Like, praise God, let's talk to God. No. So it's so rigorous, like you're passing through the eyes of a needle. So there's no room for failure. So from there, in 2014, that was when I was posted out. I was posted to Caro, New Caro, the outskirts of FCT, New Caro. And when I got there, I met 950 congregation. And within 3-4 years, we moved it to over 3,000, and we are running 5 services on Sunday, 2 services on Wednesday. I was the first pastor that hosted him. I started a school because for me, I have heart for people. And that's one thing I talk about, my process being consistent with my destination. While I was there, I saw, as a pastor, people call you daddy. Yeah. And when someone calls me daddy and I don't have capacity to daddy the person, I become helpless. That is the problem. That is just, I have seen people come, daddy, we couldn't pay student school fees. So my ex-wife, I said, no, we need to start a school. Now, the place was small. The other place, I got it on lease for 2 years. And we started the school. Apart from Dunamis Church Maraba and Dunamis headquarters, we are the next that started school in Dunamis Church FCT. And we started that school. I wanted the school free. Yes, because I had planned how it would be. The rich would pay the school fees of the poor. The early church had it like that. Those that had brought, and there was that even sharing. So, and I planned that maybe the last Sunday of the month, and I'll say, members, we need to see how we can pay our teachers, buy books. These things, when people see that you are doing the right thing, volunteers will come. You can have people that will teach for free, especially people that have capacity. Not everybody that can teach is broke. Some people have everything and they want to pour out their knowledge. They can say, sir, I want to make myself available. But when they see that you are making money out of the people, everything is being monetized, who will come? Even if they come, they will charge you for money. So when I wanted to do it, instruction came from headquarters, don't try. Because it's not part of our policy. Okay.
Instruction came that you should not make the school free.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And you can't do it.
And this is coming from a supposed Church of Christ.
Mission.
That should be there to help, the needy
and the poor. If you check out the mission, they are very expensive. The church is very close by. Just try, maybe take one of your ward there and say you want to enroll and hear the school fees. You will run. And you ask yourself, the church is on a land that they are not renewing. It's their land. The capacity we are talking about, how much is school fees? Okay, how much is teacher salary?
Now, let me even ask you.
Yeah.
you've been a pastor under Enenche. We've heard about so many miracles, testimonies of this. The blind received the sight, the crippled walked, this one. At some point, in fact, I think what caused the latest fight between Enenche and Damina was when Damina made a post to raising clutches, new clutches with a picture of Enenche, and it became a problem. So you've been there, and I know you as a very bold, vocal person who must have gone through some troubles because of the revelations you've been, given since you left the church. Tell us, these miracles, are they true? Have you witnessed any of them? Like, can you confidently, categorically state with every single iota of conviction in you that some of these miracles or all of them are real?
It's a very strong question, but I'll answer you. I will tell you, Captain, no. And it's with due respect to him and to Dunamis Church. I have nothing to lose or gain.
You're saying no, that the miracles are not real?
Are not real. They don't happen. Let me give you an instance. One major reason why I left is the frustration I had. After healing and deliverance service, we have more people that need healing than people that came for healing. After the healing service, you see people still want to see daddy for prayer. People,
I need to drink water.
Please drink water. People see frustration. And as a pastor, because when daddy has gone, the wahala now is left for us because they have to meet us. Oh, pastor, please, I need to see daddy. I brought this person, I brought that person, and people. I'm like, whoa, where do I start from? Like, you could see pain.
So what you're saying is that the real sick people that were brought for healing do not receive healing, but then strangers receive healing. Is that what you're saying?
Now, you see, let me tell you something. When you're on the stage, it's different from reality. When you are in a crowded atmosphere, charged with disco light and bam, 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 or the music is slow, your emotion is being tapped into. It's different ball game when the lights are off and you have to face reality. Now, most time when people, there's what I call environmental influence. For instance, if you are where Burna Boy or Davido or Michael Jackson is doing event and maybe you had malaria or maybe headache, you could be carried away with the dance. You won't even remember you had headache. Or it is after the whole thing when everybody make with the go house now. Like, what? This thing, they disturb me.
It's back.
That is when reality comes. Now, that is what I call the environmental effect. So when pastors or maybe Dr. Paul and he's doing all of that, you see that emotion. So pastor, it is after the lights are off. Now the same person now is okay, walk now. Say, that my stick I brought, can I have it back?
Right.
I have seen. Now, as a pastor, and with due respect to him, because I don't know, there's a case I don't know whether it's even him that is suing me. So, but I will say it, maybe by Tuesday, maybe you guys will not see me again, but no problem. Let me No, that's
we'll be here to speak for you.
I have been there for this, like the 5th time. DSS, FCID. I've been to prison. And this guy has not left me alone. I don't know why. But this one now, and I'm out for him. It's either he leave me alone or I leave him alone. Somebody has to leave the other person.
No, don't push him out. Let him stand up from there. Stand. Stand.
See, when you see a man of God do miracles, it's not his power. The way they fool a lot of people is, when you see miracles, you think it's because the man of God is powerful. That's why miracles happen. That's why sometimes if you speak to sincere men of God, when miracles happen, even the pastor is surprised, except it's arranged. Arranging men of God, they surprise them because now them plan them. The same color of crutches, the same color of wheelchair, and it be like say wheelchair don't disappear, crutches no day town again. The moment I talk, It be like say all of them just disappear. You know they pack and again. You know they pack and carry her. Showman, they don't waka. This is the day of Jesus. So when they act time, you know they surprise them. You can only surprise if he misfire. When they misfire, you say,
I am seeing a woman that attached to you like this, like a wife. And this woman is from Amasoma. Sarah is her name.
Sir, I'm not married to a Amasoma woman. I'm not married.
You are not. Can I prophesy? I am seeing another name called Ondotimi. Ondotimi.
No, sir. I'm not lying. Ondotimi, no.
God have mercy upon us.
come back. I say, who are you? Who are you?
Where do you come from? Don't give it up time, please.
State from Isha.
Huh?
Isha.
You know Ogu?
Yes, sir.
Who worship this Ogu? This is Oloku. I am seeing Oloku, and this is called a rock.
I was small when they gave birth to me, so I might not know.
You know Ashawo? You know Ashawo? Tell me.
No, sir. Yes, sir.
If they remind us, say, waiting within talk. Nothing they do now. Your money go reduce. We go come up for your salary. You're not acting in the spirit. Yeah, no be today. Oh. Someone say, your father is from Kumasi. He said, no, sir. He said, something is wrong with you. Why will something be wrong with me? My papa is not from Kumasi. He said, let's pray for him. Something is wrong with him. He has forgotten where his father came from. And everybody will be praying. He'll say, I repeat, your father is from Kumasi, your mother is from Takoradi. He go add more. The person go say, no. He go say, in the name of Jesus, you lying demon.
So when you see stuff like that, at the end of the service, I remember one particular one. He or she came with an inhaler, and said, "Oh, the asthma is gone. The asthma is gone." And after the service, is choking, and take. And if you watch, sometimes it's okay. Take it as your souvenir, or take it so that you show people, because you know that this thing is not real. I remember my son. My son had. They claim my son had a medical issue, and that's why the major victims are women. Major victims.
Because women are emotional,
very emotional, and especially when you have this kind of woman that is very clear, things that I can talk. And the women, they love daddy kind of thing, daddy. So sometimes also people want. The way they have placed daddy, people want daddy to pray for them. So they can claim what has not happened just because they think that if I claim it and daddy will say, bring that person out, bring that testimony out. So they will think that daddy will use the opportunity to pray for them.
Okay, so they have not received the testimony.
They have not received the testimony.
But they are trying to claim it by testifying.
You got that gist. So someone can say, I came here. All they want is so that daddy, because to them, daddy have some power. And if I remain, because daddy wouldn't want you to come testify when you are not healed. So you have to claim you are healed so that daddy can lay his hand and use you, and camera will capture you for the whole world to see, and you are trending. You are trending. Let me tell you. Can I shock you now? There was this guy. You don't go understand. People, they hustle. Guys are hustling. I remember this guy. Then we had the real one. This guy was a scammer. But things were falling apart for him, and he needed the platform to resurface, to survive. So he came to testify. You see, in the dream of the night, the face of daddy appeared, and I am a changed person. And you see, emotions, when it happened like that, everyone like, ooh, and this person have no place to go again. It's only me and God now. So church will say, oh, daddy will say, you make sure this guy has accommodation, make sure you take care of this guy. And I remember this guy pretended like that. Nothing happened. He started dating one of because I was in charge of production and marketing, I was supervising them. One of the young lady that was in charge of Seeds of Destiny, this guy started dating this girl.
Oh, you people even have marketing department.
You sell product. The messages is preaches, and they are not free. You pay for them. So the girl that was in charge of Seeds of Destiny now this guy started dating this girl because the guy noticed that is where the money lies. So before you know, this girl will be giving this guy money, 100, 200, 300,000. That was how this guy left. Oh, when this guy left, it shocked Dr. Paul.
Now that you've made mention of Abel Damina,
yes,
I want you to tell me, since you've been a pastor under Enenche, and I'm sure you must have met Abel Damina.
Yes, I have.
Tell us, what exactly do you think is the problem between Enenche and Damina?
Let me drink water.
Tell us, we want to know.
You know, I tell people, at least I know both characters, but I'm deeper more with Paul Enenche because I have served him.
Yeah.
Now, to be honest with you, whatever Abel said in terms of
it is too hot. I need to be drinking water.
To be honest with you, I've met Dr. Abel. I heard his side of the story. I met him at Abel Hotel, and he was sharing with me. Of course, his impact. Even then, Dr. Paul Enenche have not disclaimed, but he was telling me, "Oh, this is what." And as a pastor, you know, when you are there, you know how your GO started, even though he may not say it openly.
Yeah.
And of course, it was very clear that Abel played a major role for the kickoff of the church. And one time, while Dr. Paul Enenche, the problem with Dr. Paul Enenche, for him or to him, he has arrived so massive that to accept Abel as someone that brought him from that level to where he is like you are belittling him. It's just like you're a big man now, and your father has one leg, and you have friends around, and
this was why he adopted Bishop Oyedepo.
Yeah, he has to be.
He needed someone above him, not below. Not supposedly below him.
Because Damina is a big guy.
Yes, of course.
Abel is not a loud monetary guy. He's a big guy.
He is. We know him.
I know him. At one point, he was even trying to know his investments. I know him. But he's not loud.
Yeah.
You know, Redibo is loud. Redibo is loud. And so Dr. Paul needed that kind of platform. So, and of course, people do things that work for them. You know, access. You need access. When you said, my father in the Lord is Dr. Paul, David Oyedepo. When you hear that, is it David Oyedepo? The owner of this? Oh, come on. Access. So, for me, that was really obvious that Abel Damina, even at one point, some videos were posted. And of course, they had to try to debunk. The problem is that your past, you can never rewrite your past. Don't distort it. Just leave it the way it is. If you have a poor father, it doesn't make you, and now you are rich. That is in quote. Abel is not broke or poor. Abel, his style of message. I remember we have hosted Abel before. And Abel have preached for him, and so for me, for him to say that, I was disappointed. When I heard that thing going up and down, I said no. No, sir. You can do better.
Was it disrespect to Abel Damina?
Come on. No matter if your father is broke or your father is short or tall, it's your father. You can't change who your father is. You can't change who your father is. All you need to do is to see how you can improve and do better. If you have the concept of adopting a father, for me, it doesn't work anywhere.
I don't know how you see it. You might think this is confession, but yes, it is confession, not a negative one. We should know what confession is and why people confess at their own will without forcing them. This is a confession at one's will. Nobody forced him to talk, and you can sense and see from all that he's saying is a fact. He's talking with all boldness and assurance. What else can you see? So what greater work have you done? Greater work is the power to change people. Mr. Abraham, the guest in this video, in this podcast, you have done a greater work. Greater work shall ye do. Not at gunpoint, you just confess. You know, I think you deserve an award. That is a greater work. It takes a greater person to forgive. It takes a greater person to confess. And anyone that forgives and confesses are great people. People confess to relieve guilt. They seek for forgiveness, to uphold moral values, to rebuild trust, to avoid being exposed by another person. But in this case, that is not the reason why Abraham is speaking up. It is not to avoid exposure. No. So confession is to make you experience emotional release, hope for leniency, to meet social expectation, to pursue personal growth. Confession provides a sense of closure and accountability, helping individuals reconcile with themselves or others. So true confession is very important. It helps you balance yourself. It helps a lot of people. Thank you very much, and God bless you. And don't forget, this is me, your brother, Brother ID, the preacher with testimony, the man who believes in community development through general knowledge, public issues, and evangelical presentations.